Let me make it abundantly clear. What we're about to talk about is in no way surprising. However, the order of events that they happen in is quite alarming. Let's check it out. As Grums is reporting over here, new Mass Effect board game features pronouns. Gamers start voting with their reviews. The lead designer melts down and calls everyone effing man babies. Now, it's a little too early to start dropping F-bombs, so you'll have to bear with me here. So here we have it. Check it out. So you got not only Shepard sporting some he-hims there, right? You've also got Liara sporting a she-they. Now, this may come as a surprise to people who are familiar with how this game works, and I think this user puts it best. He says, this is that guy Crow X here. It's at that dude Crow, if you want to follow him. Pretty astute observation here, if you ask me. He says, like I said before, right? Apparently he's had this conversation before. He says, all Asari are female. It is not possible for them to be transgender as males do not exist in their society. Even Asari that father children with other Asari are still called women or matriarchs, if they are around 700 years old, of course. And so I think that pretty much succinctly points it out. However, Madame Savvy, in her wisdom, was able to spot that not only are they interjecting pronouns into this, but they can't spell adrenaline either. So they brought back Adrenaline Rush, woo, but they couldn't spell it right, so it's Arenaline. You like Arenaline? I don't know what Arenaline is. I assume it's something that makes you go faster. Adrenaline Rush there, Arenaline. Arenaline, excuse me, Arenaline. There we go, Arenaline. Ooh, Arenaline. That sounds infectious. Yeah, I got some Arenaline, guys. I can't come to work today. I can't fight the Reapers, guys. I got Arenaline. I got Arenaline Rush, guys. I got an Arenaline Rash. I got an Arenaline Rash. I can't fight the Reapers. But it gets worse. So, here's an update. Just happened a little bit before we started recording this video because I knew it was going to happen, okay? We'll jump back to find out who Eric Lang is in just a second, the game designer. Don't worry. You're going to learn all about him. But they said, here's Grums, he's reporting in here, and he says, update. They are banning accounts that vote 1 star. First, your review is removed, and if you attempt to repost it, your account is locked. I'm getting multiple reports that people leaving 1-star reviews on the Mass Effect priority Hagalas. Priority I'm sorry, I'm just not. If that's something I am supposed to pronounce, you got me. I can't do it. Board Game is getting deleted on Board Game Geek's website. So if you're a user on that website, congratulations, you'll have your stuff deleted and you'll get blocked if you insist on, reposting which got deleted. The designer called for people to brigade good reviews to offset 1-star reviews left by man babies. They were upset these users were upset that pronouns were added to Mass Effect characters like Liara being marked as a she-them, she-they, that sort of thing. So far, the 10-star brigading is allowed to stand, but the 1-star reviews are getting yeeted. The comparison shows that the number of 1-star reviews fell from 10 to 8, but it is claimed that more were deleted before the time of yesterday's screen capture, so you can see the list of screenshots below. So you check this out, right? And of course, you see the discrepancies here. These are, disappearing reviews. But then you get down in here, and it's a little bit more aggressive. You take a look at that. Just boom, all these reviews are gone, tossed. Now, you take a look at this, and it says, this is Eric Lang. This is the lead designer on this game with the pronouns in it, okay? And he had this to say right here. He says, I hate even talking about this on social media. But if you play the Mass Effect, the board game, would you mind giving it a rating on BGG to offset the effing man babies trying to tank the rating with 1s because they can't handle can't handle looking at pronouns on a character sheet? And it honestly, if you've selected male, that should be enough, right? Right? Character's a dude. You just dude, and you're done. You don't need pronouns then, right? Kind of self-explanatory. It's crazy. It's a crazy concept. I know. It would blow people's minds. However, we now have proof of that happening. Let's check it out. They're deliberately admitting that they are manipulating the reviews. Check it out. This is over on Blue Sky, where they thought they were safe. And it says, this is Matthew M. We're going to learn about Matt in just a second here. Good old Matt. Good old reliable Matt. He's got your back if you vote the right way. And he says the actual number of ones is unchanged from yesterday after I finished shooting a brigade of Twitter trolls into the sun. The graph might take a day or two to catch up. And then Eric, the lead designer who was doing all this complaining, tells Matt, good old Matt, reliable Matt, he's got your back. He says, you're a good egg, my dude. Sorry to start Ish by trying to correct Ish. Everyone's got their limits, turns out even me. Now, who's Matt? Why is Matt just declaring all of this? You'd think that Matt be an authority on... Oh, wait, look. Not only do we have pronouns in Matt's bio, but boom, he is the Board Game Geek community manager. Guess what? So he gets to go into the home office and be like, bro, I'm being told that we are being bombed. We're being review bombed. We got to make sure that this doesn't happen. We got to get it gone. I don't care if these are legit reviews. They came too fast, too hard. They followed a link from somewhere called Twitter. So you just have to ask yourself, what is the point of even being a member of this community anymore if what you have to say that runs afoul of somebody somewhere on a platform where you can get mass blocked, by the way, because, you know, Eric, he's quite a cool guy, right? So check this out. Now, this fella here is Lord Elric is telling us over here on Twitter, right? Because Eric's a cool guy, and he teamed up with good old Matt. Matt's got your back. He voted 3 on this, all right? Lord Elric voted 3 on this game, and then they blocked him for it. They iced his account. He's gone. Gone. It's astonishing that this is allowed to happen. Now, thankfully, this user had the idea that they were going to... get deleted. They knew right out of the bat they were going to get deleted, so they screenshot their review. So here's Cypher Vorthos over here at Cypher_Vorthos over on X, and screenshot his review just to make sure that if it did get deleted, it still existed for propriety's sake. You know, that it's evidence that it happened. He said this. He had this to say about the game. The new Mass Effect board game had the potential to be an immersive experience for fans of the franchise, but unfortunately, it falls flat in several areas. One of my biggest disappointments is how the game forces modern political agendas into the gameplay by introducing pronouns on character sheets. This is an unnecessary addition. This unnecessary addition feels forced, and it steals away from the rich lore that Mass Effect is known for. The universe of Mass Effect is diverse and expansive without the need to push a political narrative, and this decision detracts, that's a good word, detracts from the immersion and escapism that fans look for in this particular series. And he goes on and he has this to say. Beyond this, the game mechanics also have leave much to be desired. Some aspects feel underdeveloped. We've heard that before. With clunky rules and poorly balanced gameplay that makes sessions drag on. It's clear that more time should have been spent tuning the actual mechanics rather than pushing modern political elements. Sadly, these issues combined took away from what could have been an engaging Mass Effect experience, leaving this user disappointed. And so, as this person says, they own it, so, you know. When you leave a review, apparently on this website, there is a checkbox. You could say you own it or you don't own it. And most people just kind of forget that it's there. So that's, you know, this is why this person has that down here. And the other ones that we saw did not have that. But you might be asking yourself, now hold on, why are they applying these pronouns to the Asari, right? So here we have a person explaining a little bit more about the Asari. And they say, the Asari have a robust cellular regenerative system. While they do not heal faster than other species, Asari are known to reach 1,000 years of age. Although Asari have only one gender, they are not asexual. and Asari provides 2 copies of her own genes to her offspring. The second set is altered in a unique process called melding. Okay? Now, we can just go to the game itself and take a look at the, wherever I got it. I set it over here somewhere. Sorry, you're watching me record this live and it gets a little choppy sometimes. And so, but the Asari themselves don't, they have their, even in the game, I'm sorry, I can't find it at the moment. I must have clicked off of it. But even in the game, the Asari characters, they, like Liara, they go ahead and they don't, like we've seen her, like in the screenshots that are provided, they are showing in the game itself. Like you just have to play the game, and if you've got the captions on below, which most people do, you have the captions on, you can check out that, well, that's what she's saying. She is using her own, she's not using any variable pronouns. There's no explanation of a third option in the gender spectrum of how the Asari communicate. Shepherd is known as a human male because males have that, you know, genetic separation. All the other species that have male and female, you know, what do you call it? Genders is just kind of a stupid term now. It feels really dumb to say that. I don't know. You let me know down in the comments if you feel weird when you just say genders now. It kind of feels like you're jumping on board with these weirdos about this stuff. So I'd just say male and female subspecies. Let's put it that way. Male and female subspecies of these other alien species, okay? And so that's just, you know, again, Mass Effect has a gigantic lore, and at no point did it decide that it needed to explain they in the concept of the Asari culture. So there you go. Now you might be wondering, well, how does Eric fit into all of this, okay? So Eric is a contributor over at BBG, all right? Now you might be wondering what is BGG rather, not BBG. That's the other one. It's the other one. The BGG, if you will. And so this one is what is Board Game Geek? And so to, you know, kind of like break this down, this is a place where you can get reviews, ratings, all sorts of like pictures from the game, people playing the game, that sort of thing. Press packs are available here. I want to say I saw that here. You're going to see like play aids, translations for other people that maybe want to play the game in a different language. Like you're a German and you want to play the American game and it's only available in English so far. So you come here and someone very kind has translated it over so that you can play it in Germany. With German language, of course. And so, you know, session reports, that sort of thing. And again, this is all listed right here, but moreover is that they do like trading card games, negotiation games, economic games, dungeon crawls, city building, diplomacy, puzzle games, and strategy games, party games, war games. If it's a game, it goes on a tabletop, they're talking about it. And so that's what this whole space is supposed to be about. But as usual, when you run into a place that's sort of like, we're all just cuddly and wonderful and everybody's welcome to be here, you end up running into ideologues like Eric. And this is Eric Lang. This is a guy that's raising so much heck about people complaining, people responding, people having a very right opinion, a correct opinion about inserting pronouns into a tabletop game that doesn't need them at all, period. The characters you're playing already have assigned communicative pronouns, if you will, because we just have to have those damn things. Pronouns and gender. You feel dumb just talking about it, you know? I feel like I need to have like a basket of deep fried Tide Pods next to me when I'm talking about this stuff. It's just mind numbing at this point. But again, you know, Eric, he's a fella. As you can see, he's a fella. But he's a lead designer on games like this. He's been on this Bloodborne game, Munchkin, this Marvel United. You know, he's abridged a list of notable games, that sort of thing. But then we go over to his website, okay, and we'll see that he stopped updating it in 2019. But as you can see, Eric has been involved on a lot of games, okay? He's not just some fly-by-night fella that just got plucked out of nowhere to work on this game, all right? So he comes with a background, like he's in awards at the Spiel des Jahres Awards. I think that's Jahres, maybe. The Anna Jones Award, the Dice Tower Awards. We remember the Dice Tower and how curious those fellows are, right? And then, of course, the Origins Awards, and that's the DC Comics Dice Awards, Marvel, Warriors, the Game of Thrones, CCG. Collector card game. That's what that means. Anyway, so I think you let me know down below if I got it wrong. But there you go. So now you know who Eric Lang is and what he's worked on. By the looks of it, you've probably played a game that he's had a hand in. And I'm not saying that means that he's horrible at what he does. But the man has a penchant for panic when he gets pinned down on his ideas. And so he's gone over to Blue Sky. And so Blue Sky, that's where he was talking to Matt. Matt's got your back. He'll delete your stuff if you don't vote the right way, Anyway, Eric here, Blue Sky has user-generated block lists that you can subscribe to with 2 clicks. Twitter could be borderline decent with that, with just that feature, but of course, 4chan Boy would never implement it. Block frequently, y'all. You'll have a better time. Wow. Isn't that just great, right? That's a great attitude to have about other people having an opinion about your work, too. And if you know what you're doing is going to inflame people to the point that they're going to annoy you with criticisms about it, why'd you do it? This isn't like some sit-in thing in the 60s, bud. You're not proving anything by forcing this agenda down people's throats. The thing about pronouns is that in no way whatsoever is someone hurt when they are misgendered. Not at all. That's an opportunity to have a conversation if you want to talk about that stuff. Most people don't. Most people don't care one way or the other. In the United States alone, we tend to have a what goes on in your house happens in your house. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas kind of attitude, okay? I know, right? You in the audience, you're like, wow, I had no idea that I live in a country where people just let people be themselves. It's almost like it's in the founding documents or something. But that's what we're looking at here is that Eric is a guy that simply wants to live in opposition of the idea that perhaps when you create things, it shouldn't be set out to make others angry. Bizarre concept, right? Bizarre concept. And finally, here's where he is over on Blue Sky just a little bit ago. Just as you can see right here, it's 10:47 a.m. on the East Coast is when this person was reporting it. This is Babby Noob Cake. So check out Baby Noob Cake. He's got quite a profile picture there. Wow, that was a lot of Peter Griffin. I was going to say Peter Parker, but that's not Peter Parker. That's Peter Griffin. So here we go. Eric Lang, and of course, this is kind of tiny for you guys, but it says, I'm so proud of Mass Effect. This was yesterday, by the way. I'm so proud of Mass Effect and so endlessly tired of the effing man babies who try to tank our BGG rating because we took 10 seconds to add pronouns to the squad mates. And yes, I realize that reacting to them gives them oxygen, but F off. I get to be mad about this stupid ish. Okay? And this is what you get for letting your guard down for 1 second and speaking in anger. F me, I'm just tired. And so he's, this was yesterday and now today he's replying to himself with this stuff about all the 1 ratings that have showed up. And he can't handle it. He was so proud that he stuck pronouns in there. Just look what he has to say here. He says, we took 10 seconds to add pronouns to the squad mates. Yeah, this guy is in utter shock, right? That he knew what the problem was when he did it. It was obvious what the problem was. There's no need to do that, right? And when you do that, Eric, you think it's just something, it's just nothing. It is something because it signals to everybody at the table that they're now on the same sort of rule list now. You're playing by SJW rules. You're playing by political rules, not enjoying the game. As a previous user we were talking about mentioned, in his review, it takes you out of the immersion of the game when you're reminded of modern day politics. Why the hell would aliens be using pronouns? What is a he and a she to a creature from Andromeda? Just try to process that for a second. What is he and she to a creature from Andromeda? A formality. That's what it is. It's a formality, and that's it. And so when you start stuffing it into the character creation process, when you start stuffing it into the lore where it doesn't belong, so much so, by the way, that you go relabeling a character that is well known for being a she/her, right? If you insist on this insipid language, a character that has been documented and self-proclaimed, by the way, self-proclaimed as she/her. All right? When you go altering that lore, it is damn clear what you're up to, Eric. When the paperwork came from BioWare, you decided to insert that stuff. It wasn't there in the original paperwork, and you know it, Eric. You decided to make it unique for you, unique among the BioWare offerings related to Mass Effect. And that's why you did this. And when you get repercussions for it, when you're not celebrated in the streets, you have a hissy fit on 2 social medias. So much so that a community manager for an almost unrelated enterprise goes out and starts deleting legitimate criticism of that insanity. You get everything that's coming to you, pal. Believe me, Eric, and I'm not encouraging anybody to go out and bother this guy. All right? Don't do that. Don't take anything that we've said here as evidence to go out and harangue him, all right? That's what he wants. He wants to be able to take the attention off of the pronouns and onto you and onto me. There's no reason to give him that opportunity. We're here to laugh at him. We're here to make fun of him. Put your thoughts down here in the comments below on the bounding articles about this insanity. Let us know how you feel here. Don't bring that to his doorstep because that's what he wants. All this belly aching gets him the attention he wants. Remember, it's a victim Olympics on his end of the spectrum. Remember that. And he's vying for first prize. The gold medal. Little blue ribbon. Put on his shirt. I'm the best victim. Boo-hoo 2024. There you go. It just drives me up the wall. I'm sorry. I've had enough. I've just had enough of this insanity, and I refuse to try and play ball with it anymore. You should too. There is no reason why we need to obey these weird concepts about society whatsoever. Because Eric Lang feels bad that there's people who obey the pronoun circus that aren't feeling represented in Mass Effect of all damn things. You like that? Things? You like that? Things? You like that? I did that on purpose. But anyway, I digress, okay? I'm sorry, it gets my ire up. I am not a huge Mass Effect fan, as you have heard. But I hate to see this shit happen to a franchise that's pretty cool. I've watched my friends play the game. It's not my speed. Just gonna say that, okay? You call me a big fan in the comments if you want to. Go for it. I have been on a couch when Mass Effect was on the television. That is the closest relationship I have to the franchise as far as gameplay goes. I like the music. I've said that before. I like gaming music a lot. It's what I listen to. It's how I get introduced to franchises most of the time these days. I don't watch ads. You shouldn't either. They're a waste of time. So anyway, back at the ranch. Remember, don't obey this pronoun circus stuff. Not even for a minute. You see what happens. They rewrote the game just like that. Just like that. They rewrote the game. In front of God and everybody. But until the next one, guys, good luck out there.